Hello friends, myself Dr. Hasrat Jasmin. This year I have cleared UPSC with the rank of 226, and friends, before I really start telling you about my journey and my preparation strategy, I would like to tell you here that I am a type 1 diabetic and I take 4 injections every day. Now by listening that, one thing that should click in your mind automatically is that my preparation would have been different, not easy but a bit different from how others would prepare. And why I really want to tell you about myself being diabetic and then giving this exam and clearing is that I want to give you an impression that those people who clear, that they are not what you typically call asmaan se utre log, theek hai na? People like we only come forward and with our perseverance we clear the exam. Keep 3 things in mind: hard work, patience and trust in yourself. They are very important, and these things will go with you along your entire journey. Friends, you will have your own set of failures. There will be a few successes, like kabhi pre ho gaya, then next time nahi hua, or anything like that. But keep one thing in mind: always have a motivation. You would have read Ellen Keller's book that says the story of my life. So if she can do it, we all can do it, and each one of us has the potential. The only thing that matters is the correct strategy and motivation to stay in this process. And even I could not clear prelims for 2 years, and while I did it in 3rd, so what really mattered and what really was importance, what really held importance was my support by my family, my parents, all my teachers who helped me groom in this entire preparation, and a lot of areas I took coaching from. Like for example, I took coaching from GS Core for my optional, and I took it from Vision IAS also for some test series. So apart from all these things, your life journey, the entire process, when you give the exam, you grow as an individual. It's a very challenging exam, but at the same time it's a very rewarding journey. You learn a lot of things. You really come to know that how the entire system works, what all is governance all about, and that how everyone is playing their part. So when I talk about myself, friends, having been diabetic for such a long time and being on injections, I had to take care of my health a lot, and sometimes I used to get sick, especially during my mains exams. During my few exams, my sugar levels were totally out of control. But in spite of that, I always managed to take out some time for myself. Whenever we talk about the preparation, we all know there are 3 stages. We have prelims, we have mains, and we have interview. First of all, the most important stage in my opinion is prelims, because if you clear prelims, then only you go and give mains and later on reach to interview. So for prelims, we need to have a very clear-cut, well-designed strategy that works for you and only you. You have to identify your strengths and your weaknesses. In my case, let me talk very openly. I gave prelims twice before this attempt and I could not clear it because my strategy was not correct. Later on in the 3rd attempt, I realized what were my weaknesses. I worked upon that. Then I realized what were my strengths. I focused on them more, and that really helped me clear prelims. Friends, we know we generally all read basic books, like for history we have Spectrum, for polity we have Lakshmikant, and the list goes on. And those books have to be coupled with NCRTs. Now this is the clear mantra for everyone. There's no substitute for it. But apart from that, what is important in my opinion is you have to understand really that how many questions you have to attempt to get that genuine score and to clear the cutoff. So if we talk about, in my case, I came around that 90 plus questions will always help me clear the cutoff, and anything less than that, I was in the danger zone. So that way you also have to identify that what really is your level. Secondly, friends, we also have to consider other important things like reading the atlas daily. You have to go through atlas. We see a lot of places coming up in the news be it Syria, be it the crisis in Venezuela. So all those countries you have to keep on going through in the atlas time to time, so that you are well aware what are all the water bodies lying close to that place, or wherever any new summit is taking place. For example, it's in Switzerland or it's in any other place, so you really need to know where that place is exactly located. Prelims is all about details. If you miss those details, you miss prelims. Secondly, current affairs are very important. Apart from the basic GS reading in prelims, we need to focus on current affairs. Current affairs is something that you can either rely on the newspapers like the Hindu, or you can supplement it with any other source. Nowadays we have so many online sources, so from those you can check and work according to your strategy. Then daily you have to give a test, a mock test. Try simulating the environment of your exam. Have that capability that you are sitting actually in the exam and attempt the paper in that way. So then you will realize that what is the time that you take to solve these many questions, and are you really able to solve those 100 questions in the given time frame or not. And about CSAT, friends, yes, not to miss CSAT. CSAT is very important, even if it's qualifying. Qualifying word has a significance. You will qualify, if you will qualify CSAT, then only your GS will be checked. So CSAT is very important. Daily you can go and question, try some around 10 to 15 questions, general mental ability, comprehension, do a little bit of maths. I am myself a science person, and that too I am a doctor, so maths again was not my cup of tea, but still I managed to clear CSAT because of practice. And finally, the time. When it comes to the time, it's very important that you do quality study. It does not matter how many hours you study. People say, I study for 10 hours, I say study for 14 hours, 15 hours, but that's really not important. What's more important for you is how much you are able to grasp. If you're able to grasp a lot in 6 hours, then those 6 hours are enough for you, because your brain is adjusted according to your capability to grasp things. So after that your brain will stop working, and you really need to give yourself a break. That break can be in form of any hobby, exercise, you can dance, you can go for a walk, you can interact with your friends. So in my opinion, that's all you really need to do for prelims. So factual analysis plus detailed study of any topic. You don't have to miss on details if you want to really clear prelims. Then apart from that, there are a few strategies, like we have important conventions, we have certain national programs going on. So you really need to be careful about those things, and you need to have some idea, so that when you look onto the paper and that scheme shows up, you need to know at least 50 to 60% what's that all about, so that even if you are trying to eliminate, you can do that safely. So next, coming on to the GS strategy, friends. Now GS, we know it's a humongous topic to prepare, but however it's not that tough. When we talk about the mains exam, first of all we have to be very clear about what exactly is the syllabus of the exam, because you simply cannot go on and read about a topic and go on and on reading about 10 to 15 days about the same. So that way you are not going to clear. So first of all, be thorough with the syllabus. That's really important. And then you have to realize what the exam actually demands from you. Keep one thing in mind. Always think you are applying for a post, a job, and it's not about clearing any exam, it's about clearing a job, a post for that. So always try and find out what they really are looking for in an aspirant, and try to imbibe those values. Subconsciously those will help you when you write the answers. We know that mains exam is all about, it starts with first of all we have the essay paper. Now essay paper is something that can really make or mar your GS score. So in the essay strategy, what's more important is you to have a bird's eye view. Whenever you are having any essay, to select any essay, we usually have 2 essays that we are supposed to write in a duration of 3 hours. So selection of the topic is the most important thing. If you select the correct essay, you are half clear. If you select the wrong one, it's not going to serve any purpose. Always select that essay that you have more material about. It's not about selecting the essay that you feel more strongly about. For example, I'm not from the humanities stream, so selecting any philosophy based essay will be difficult for me. While on the other hand, selecting any essay that's close to the science stream or that talks more about issues like I selected two issues. One was regarding the farming issue, so why a lot of farmer suicides are taking place and what could be the solution, and the second was regarding women empowerment. So those are the issues that you have to select. Then when you start writing an essay, you have to make sure that whatever bird eye view you can take about the subject, you have to present it accordingly. Immediately, you don't have much time in the exam to sit for half an hour and decide what are you going to write in the essay, and so many points cannot come to your mind at once. So start with 10 to 15 points, start framing your essay. Always start your essay with a catchy quote or start with a story that is going to grasp the interest of the examiner, and try presenting yourself in such a way that you really understand the problem and you really want to help. It should run like a movie. You never get bored after watching a movie, right? So that should be the way an essay has to be written. Apart from that, when it comes to the practice of the essay, see, while you are preparing for your GS, your essay will be automatically prepared, because the same GS questions that you write in short, 10 to 15 marks, same you will be writing in the essay for more marks. And if possible, you can try writing one essay every 10 to 15 days, just if you don't have that much of confidence. Then coming on to GS exam. Yes, before the GS papers, I would also like to talk here about the language papers. We have the English and the language paper, your mother tongue, whichever language you are selecting for. Please don't take those lightly, because they are really important. Again, if you clear them, only then will your next papers, GS and others and optional, will be checked. Otherwise, everything will be discarded and thrown in the dustbin. So that's a very harsh reality. So always be prepared with your language papers, and then start with the preparation thereafter. Coming on to the GS strategy now. See, GS1, as we know that while we prepared for prelims only, our GS gets automatically prepared side by side, the static part. Now here comes the different angle. In mains, we are expected to know not only about the static angle, but also about the dynamic part. Like if there is anything about the president, you are supposed to know what are the constitutional provisions, functions about president, and at present you are supposed to know what all is going on, if there is any case regarding any ordinance or any bill. So that is really important. And we have a different dimension here. We have word history, that's a bit different, word history and sociology. See, when you study about sociology, I think we need to know about the Indian society, and that we all basically know, or we can read a few sources. We have so many online sources for that. You can refer any one source and read. While about the word history, I personally read quite a few sources, but at the end what I realized was the only best way to read it is NCERT. We have the NCERT for word history. I think it's for class 11th or 12th. So go for that and read it like you are watching a movie. Have those things in your mind, and accordingly try to construct a mental figure of a person. For example, if there is a question about Hitler, or if there's a question about Bismarck's policies, read and try to think and try to note them down. You can make your own personal notes if you really don't find enough material anywhere else. Then next we have GS2. Now GS2 and GS3, they are quite tricky. Why they are tricky? Because there is a reason for that. We don't have much of static part to cover here, while we have more of dynamic things. What all is going on in the basic economic scenario, what all is going on in the polity, what all is going on in the international relations worldwide. So, and latest scientific developments about the governance, your own country, and good governance practices of any other nation. Those are the things that you really need to check your own way, like how are you going to look out for these things. We have so many channels where you can read the news. So GS2 and 3, as I was talking about, it's more of dynamic part. So you really have to listen to news. You have to read a lot of forums. You can watch Economic Times and other news to just see what exactly is happening around. You can go and check out blogs like PRS India and PIB for latest bills and developments. And apart from that, answer writing. Let's come to the main point. Now this was all about the preparation. Of course, ethics is a different strategy, I'll talk about it. But first comes the answer writing. Now, mains is all about answer writing. Does not matter how much you know unless you're not able to present it very well on the paper. So answer writing is the most important part in mains. Why it's most important? Not only because your answers will be read and marked, but you need to have that much capacity to write for around 27 to 30 hours together. So that thing you have to develop. You have to really develop the art of writing in a way that you don't get tired, writing in a way that is legible, and writing in a way that it's easy for you to cover the majority part of the paper, and try your level best not to leave any question. But however, it's not possible to attempt all, so your writing skills will matter at that time. For the writing skills, you can log on to, there are so many online platforms available, you can go to any of them, or you can go and join any test series, any genuine test series. I think stick to one test series, prepare very well, because if you keep on roaming around and going on to two, three test series, you lose on to the core of the preparation. So always focus on a single test series source and prepare very well. And apart from that, yes, the ethics, GS4. Now ethics is a bit of a tricky part. Personally, I was not that very much able to prepare ethics because of time shortage, but however, ethics does not need much of a strategy. You need not read many books or anything. If you are weak in certain areas, like if you are weak at case studies, you can again join the test series and solve those case studies, and always look for the genuine answers. We have an answer sheet with those test series after our answers are being checked. Compare your answers with those and try to remember, try to mark where you lagged and try to improve upon that. See, preparing for UPSC is all about realizing your failures, working on them, identifying your strengths and becoming even more stronger. So this is how the strategy should be taken. And apart from that, of course, you have to be prepared to mentally undergo that much of pressure. Whenever you write a test, always feel that you are in that arena, you are in the exam hall and the paper has arrived, it's already 10 minutes late, and how you are going to really adjust yourself so that you are able to solve the maximum questions. If there are around 20 to 25 questions, so make it a target. 15, 16 questions you are to attempt at any cost, and then later on, while you are preparing for the exams, when you are giving mains, things can get really tough. So take care of your nutrition, exercise a bit, always try to be cheerful, and I think that is all that you really need to prepare for mains. So have that conviction, that courage in yourself that I have to do this and I can do it. Never fear that how many marks will I be getting, or if I am not getting good marks in the coaching institute, so that is not going to be good for me. Remember, marks are always going to be good when you really give mains. The checking is on a different level. So when you go to any coaching institute and you ask for help, they help you, they grill you so that you perform even better in the real exam. So we have to keep that thing in mind, and you have to continue following newspapers and latest trends. If possible, you can read ARC reports, but that's not really required here. So just stay updated with all the knowledge you have and try practicing. Answer writing is everything. Have a good legible handwriting. I don't say that you have a calligraphic hand, nobody can have that, but it should be legible enough so that you don't get negative marks for bad writing.